sunny drove alone, and when his engine roared, they called the highway Thunder Road. There was thunder, thunder, open thunder road. Thunder was his engine, and white lights and was his load. There was moonshine, moonshine, right down his back. All they smooth they kill him, but the devil got him through.
Strap in your load and keep the G-Man behind you. It's time to go bootlegger racing, boys. Yeah!
Absolutely, Ricky, as we once again welcome you back here to the old Yadkin Valley Speedway, as we are proud to officially commence the beginning of the merch.
It's officially the Cousin Ricky presents the Bootlegger Run!
Sponsored by Merch by Meekin.
And you better start getting it right.
The fans are lined up at the gates and filling the stands as they are anticipating some great bootlegger action here today.
More like they're anticipating more Cousin Ricky's finish shine.
And speaking of your shine, I'm hoping you haven't given him any more free samples to our drivers.
I cannot confirm nor deny.
Oh my God, are you kidding me right now, Ricky?
What? I can't help that it quenches your thirst, thins paint, and makes the best octane racing fuel around.
Well, at 200 proof, I'm surprised any of your customers are still standing right now.
That's because it takes a real fan to drink Cousin Ricky's best. And for those who can't handle it, we have Cuz Light.
Oh, dear God. Well, speaking of handling it, if you check out the turn just outside of the starting grid, we have a brand new extended guardrail to prevent any more accidents like we had during the qualifying race with Willie Blackstar. And speaking of the qualifying race, the cars are all set up and qualified, ready to get this tournament underway as they have the first two heat groups set up for today. These top three cars will be moving on to the second round. So let's get down for these driver introductions. Starting us off with a qualifying time of 15.942 seconds in his 1954 Chevy Bel Air for Karmic Racing, it's Hades. Starting second with a qualifying time of 15.980 seconds in his 1939 Ford sedan for Numbskull Racing, it's Numbskull. Up next, putting down the qualifying time of 16.243 seconds in his 1965 Ford Mustang for MQH Racing, it's Cooper. Putting down a track time of 16.694 seconds in his 1936 Ford Coupe for Farrell Mods, it's Farrell Patrick. One of these things is not like the other, and that's this 1954 Jaguar XK120 from Uncle Elvis Racing, it's Uncle Elvis.
Jag what?
And finally, making his way in from the qualifying race in his 1941 Willis Coupe for Nickel Racing, it's Shoddy. And here they are, ladies and gentlemen, your first six drivers for round one, heat group one of the Cousin Ricky presents the Bootlegger Run. Now let's get down to the racing surface.
Did you seriously allow a Jaguar in this tournament?
Oh my God, Ricky, are we about to have another JDM moment with you?
You're seriously gonna sit there and say that's a bootlegger? Yet a lot of stock car?
June 13th, 1954. Look it up. And he won.
Wait, do what?
Lap one is underway. Down the backstretch for the first time in a turn one. It's Hades leading the drivers with Cooper right there behind him. Looks like we had some trouble in turn one as Hades is continuing to pull away as he is already down the home stretch. He's going to lead lap one, followed by Cooper right there behind him as it looks like we have trouble in turn three.
Hold on, we're not done yet. Looks like we have a breakaway.
Looks like Shoddy was able to make it through the traffic as he's going to come across the line in third.
Woo, lap one and we're already having trouble.
It would appear so as Hades puts down a track time of 14.934 seconds. As we go to treacherous turn three, we see Farrell Patrick over there on his roof as we go up to the exit of turn two just before the S-turns. Looks like Numbskull and Uncle Elvis got into some trouble as well. Watching the Merch by Meekin replay cam, you see Numbskull exits turn two. His car takes a bounce as he hits the wall just at the entrance to the S-turns. Watching it again, you see him. He takes a bounce. He hops up and gets popped right there. As we watch the treacherous turn three cam, you watch Farrell Patrick enters the turn just a little too slow as his car can't take the banking and he gets turned over. Here comes Shoddy slamming right into the back of Farrell Patrick as it slows him down, but he's able to continue on and finish the lap. And for the first lap, Hades is your leader with Cooper right there behind him. Then you've got Shoddy with Farrell Patrick in 4th place. Then it's Numbskull who got into trouble with Uncle Elvis right there behind him in 6th.
Serves him right for having a Jaguar in a stock car race.
You still haven't looked it up, have you?
Who needs to?
Down the backstretch once again, it's Hades leading him into turn 1 with the other drivers falling behind as Hades has pulled away. Here they are fighting for position behind Hades as he is already into turn 3, getting loose as he comes down the super stretch. Down the home stretch, he's going to come in first as they're wrecking behind him, and it's going to be Farrell Patrick coming in second with Uncle Elvis coming in third.
How the heck did that Jaguar jump from 6th to 3rd?
Well, I think you're getting ready to figure that out as we check out the finish line. You see the cars tangled up down there, and as we go to the turn 4, you see Shoddy and Numbskull got tangled up as they came to a halt right there inside of turn 4. As we watch the Merch by Meekin replay cam, you see here comes Shoddy and Numbskull beating and banging up against each other, unable to break free as they head down the super stretch. Heading down in the turn 4, their cars finally straighten out a little bit, but it's too late as they are unable to get through the turn as they both turn sideways.
That doesn't answer my question.
Well, if you be a little patient, you see as the cars come out of turn 4, Hades hits the outside retaining wall, then the inside retaining wall. Here comes Cooper getting passed up by Farrell Patrick. Farrell Patrick gets turned into Cooper as Uncle Elvis gets spun around, and then he slams into the back of Farrell Patrick as they come across the line.
Moved into 3rd place. Heck, he shouldn't even be in this race. He should be disqualified.
Ricky, I'm about to make you eat some humble pie, as if you had done your research, you would have found out that Al Keller, driving this exact Jaguar, won in 1954 in Linden, New Jersey.
A stock car race?
A stock car race.
In New Jersey? Well, that says a lot.
Oh my God. Heading down into turn 1, Hades leads the pack again, but you have Farrell Patrick and Uncle Elvis fighting for 2nd place right behind him as it's a dogfight for position all over the place behind Hades as he is all alone heading down to the line. He is going to take lap 3, followed by Farrell Patrick and then Cooper taking 3rd.
Lots of trouble once again, but it looks like we have another breakaway.
Now we do, as it looks like Numbskull was able to make it through all the wrecks as he comes across the line in 4th. And so far, it looks like Hades is going to be untouchable as he puts in another 14.935 track time. As we check out treacherous turn 3, we're looking at Uncle Elvis and Shoddy into trouble as we check out the replay cam. Here you see them entering in the turn 3. Looks like you have Uncle Elvis getting into trouble as he gets tangled up with Numbskull. Here comes Shoddy hitting Numbskull from the rear as he's able to break loose and make it down the track. But unfortunately, Shoddy comes to a halt. We're halfway through the first heat group, and Hades has been dominating this race in his 57 Chevy.
But he has a new challenge in that 1936 Ford Coupe right there next to him.
Yes, you have Farrell Patrick in that 2nd place position, and then you have Numbskull right there behind him who will give him a big push as lap 4 is underway. Hades once again leads him down in a turn 1 as they're fighting for 2nd place behind him, and further on back as it looks like you have Farrell Patrick hanging on to 2nd place over Cooper, but Cooper shoots out in front of him as Hades once again is going to take it heading into lap 5, and then you have Cooper coming in 2nd place, followed by Farrell Patrick, then it's Uncle Elvis and then Numbskull in 5th as it looks like Shoddy is going to come to a stop just before making it to the line.
And here I was thinking we were going to have a perfect lap.
We may not have had our first perfect lap. It looks like we may have our first perfect run of this tournament as Hades is still hanging on to that lead 5 laps into this event. And then you have Cooper in 2nd place with Farrell Patrick in 3rd and then Uncle Elvis in 4th as we are set and ready for lap 5, which is underway. As they head down into the backstretch, it's a battle behind Hades as he is once again pulling away from the other drivers. Can the other drivers catch up to him? Will Hades have any issues? Does not look like it as he's going to come across the line once again at first, followed by Cooper right behind him, as looks like once again we have more trouble behind him as Uncle Elvis comes across the line backwards.
Looks like up there in turn 4 we got more trouble with Shoddy.
More trouble indeed as Hades puts down a track time of 14.899 seconds as we go and check out turn 4. Once again, looks like Shoddy and Numbskull have gotten together again, this time collecting Farrell Patrick with them. They cannot seem to stay away from each other as we check out the turn 3 replay cam. You see Uncle Elvis getting turned around by Farrell Patrick. Here comes Numbskull trying his best to make it past them, but it looks like you have Farrell Patrick holding up the track. Here comes Shoddy slamming into the back of Numbskull as they continue to push down the track, unable to break free from each other, but they're able to straighten out just before heading into the turn, but it's too much for them as they all end up spinning out. And this is it, ladies and gentlemen. We are down to the final lap, and thus far it has been the Hades show, as he has led all 5 laps of this event. But can he lead the final and most important lap? Right next to him, it's Cooper with Uncle Elvis and Shotty right behind him as the white flag is out. 1 lap to go. It's Hades once again leading them down into turn 1 for the final time. Can he hang on to the lead as the other drivers fight for position behind him? He pulls away as he heads into turn 3. Here comes Cooper, but it looks like it's going to be too much for him, as it looks like you're going to have Hades coming across the line at first, followed by Cooper. Then it's going to be Uncle Elvis and Pearl Patrick coming in 4.
Woo! A perfect run by that 57 Chevy of Hades.
Hades puts down a track time of 15.084 seconds as we check in at the entrance to turn 4. Once again, Shotty and Numbskull have gotten tangled up, as it looks like they have some kind of grudge against each other. They have been all over each other this entire race. As we watch them enter into turn 3 through the replay cam, you see Numbskull is giving Shotty a push. As Shotty loses control, he gets turned sideways as they are now beating and banging as they head down the super stretch, heading down into turn 4, but they lose momentum just before entering a turn and they come to a halt. And at the end of round 1, Heat Group 1, your 3 drivers moving on to round 2. It's going to be Uncle Elvis in 3rd place, with Cooper in 2nd place. And your winner of this event and a perfect run, it's going to be Hades in his 57 Chevy. We'll be right back in just a minute.
We welcome you back here to the Cousin Ricky presents the Bootlegger Run!
That's the Cousin Ricky presents the Bootlegger Run, sponsored by Merch by Weekend.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Except for leaving out a very big important part.
Yeah, well, nobody's perfect.
Keep it up and you won't be perfect, as well as not having a microphone.
Yeah, tell me how that's worked for you in the past.
As much as I would love to continue this great conversation on, we have driver introductions to get to. Starting us off on the qualifying time of 15.758 seconds in his 1967 Chevy Chevelle for Raw Sun God Racing, it's Raw Sun God. Starting second with a time of 16.021 seconds in his 1939 Ford sedan for Hot Nuts Diecast, it's Craigster Sr. Up next with a time of 16.320 seconds in his 1956 Ford Victoria for Merch by Meekin, it's Gringo Loco. Rolling up next, putting down the qualifying time of 16.807 seconds in his 1934 Chevy Master Coupe for Dubious Diecast, it's Mr. Dog.
I'm getting chills.
Rolling down the track with a qualifying time of 18.678 seconds in his 1956 Ford Victoria for Ragtag Racing, it's Ragtag Jim. And finally, making their way in for the qualifying race in their 1936 Ford sedan for Lily's Boneyard, it's Lily the Dog. And here they are, race fans, your drivers for round 1, Heat Group 2 of the Cousin Ricky presents the Bootlegger Run Tournament. Now let's get down to trackside. Starting up front in the inside pole position, it's Raw Sun God in his 67 Chevelle. Right there next to him, it's Craigster Sr. in his 1939 Ford sedan. Behind him, you've got Gringo Loco and Mr. Dark. You've got 4 Fords versus 2 Chevys as lap 1 is underway. Heading down the backstretch for the first time, it's Raw Sun God leading him down in a turn 1. You got Gringo Loco and Craigster Sr. fighting for 2nd place behind him as Raw Sun God is pulled away from the other drivers. He is down in a turn 4. Down the home stretch, he's going to come across the line first, followed by Craigster Sr. Then it's going to be Gringo Loco, Mr. Dark. Then you've got Ragtag Jim and Lily the Dog bringing up the rear.
And did my eyes deceive me, or did we just have all cars make it down the track?
Your eyes definitely were not deceiving you, as all the cars were able to make it down the track, but all the cars were also able to hang on to their positions as we are set up for the same exact grid as we had in lap 1, as we are set for lap 2, which is now underway. Down the backstretch into turn 1, it's Raw Sun God with a battle for second right behind him as Gringo Loco and Craigster Sr. fight, as it looks like Craigster Sr. comes out on top out of turn 2. Looks like they all got together as once again Raw Sun God is pulling away as he comes across the line in first. Here comes Craigster Sr. backwards as he crosses the line in second, followed by Gringo Loco in third.
Ragtag Jim was able to make some positions as he moves in the 4th.
Raw Sun God puts down a track time of 15.085 seconds. As we check out turn 3, you have Mr. Dark sitting on his side, and it looks like Lily the dog is looking for a belly rub as she is on her back. And as we check out the treacherous turn 3 replay cam presented by Merch by Beacon, as we watch the cars exit the chicane, you see Gringo Loco and Mr. Dark get tangled up as they head down into turn 3. Mr. Dark gets turned sideways by Gringo Loco as he's able to get pushed by Ragtag Jim as they are able to continue on. Lily sees the trouble, she panics, and she rolls the car over before coming to a stop just before exiting the turn.
Dang, ain't that some tough luck for both of them?
That it is, as those two racers fall to the back as you have Ragtag Jim moving up into the 4th place position. Then you have Gringo Loco in 3rd, followed by Craigster Sr. in 2nd, and then you've got Raw Sun God in 1st place as we are set and ready for lap 3, which is now underway. Raw Sun God once again leads him down into turn 1, but you have Gringo Loco and Craigster Sr. right there on his tail as he's unable to break free. Looks like Craigster Sr. is trying to challenge Raw for the lead, but Raw pulls away. Here comes Craigster Sr. once again trying to make the pass up top. Oh, he's turned sideways as they come across the line. What a close finish, but Raw Sun God is able to hang on to that lead, followed by Craigster Sr.
Whew, that's the type of racing I'm talking about, boys, yeah!
Some of the closest racing we have had thus far as you watch the cars enter into turn 3. Here comes Craigster Sr. out of turn 3, trying his best to catch up to Raw Sun God as he tries to make the pass along the outside as Raw Sun God goes through the block heading into turn 4. As they come out of turn 4, Raw Sun God gets turned sideways as he's able to hang on to the lead coming across the line. We're halfway through this event and Raw Sun God is still your leader, but Craigster Sr. is trying his best to challenge him for the lead. You have Gringo Loco right there in 3rd place with Ragtag Jim in 4th place as we are here and ready for lap 4, which is now underway. Heading down into turn 1, it's Raw Sun God, but here comes Craigster Sr. taking the lead from him as it looks like Raw Sun God has slowed down. He's getting pummeled in the back by Gringo Loco as Craigster Sr. continues to pull away. They're all fighting position down the super stretch as it looks like it's going to be Craigster Sr. taking the lead, followed by Raw Sun God closely with Gringo Loco right there next to him as the other drivers are able to make it across the line.
This action is heating up, boys, yeah!
That it is, as we have a track time of 16.244 seconds as we watch the battle for 2nd place behind Craigster Sr., who takes the lead. We see Raw Sun God cuts off Gringo Loco, but Gringo Loco tries one more time, but he's unable to make the pass as Raw Sun God holds him off. Heading into lap 5, your new leader is Craigster Sr. with Raw Sun God right there next to him. You have two drivers hungry behind them. Will they be able to move up? Will Raw Sun God retake the lead? Or will Craigster Sr. hold them all off as we are set and ready for lap 5, which is now underway? Down the backstretch, Craigster Sr. leads them down into turn 1 with Raw Sun God trying to catch up, but he falls back as Gringo Loco challenges for that 2nd place position. Raw Sun God's able to hold him off as they tangle up. Craigster Sr. gets loose as he heads down to the final stretch. He's going to come across the line at first, followed by Raw Sun God, and then Mr. Dark coming in 3rd as it looks like they got tangled up as the other drivers are stuck just before coming to the line. Craigster Sr. puts down a track time of 16.207 seconds as we check out the drivers stuck on top of each other just before the finish line. Let's check out the replay and see exactly what just happened as we watch the cars enter into turn 3. You got Gringo Loco tangled up with Raw Sun God as he gets turned around. You got Mr. Dark trying for the lead. Gringo Loco spins all the way around. He gets slammed by Ragtag Jim. Here comes Lily the dog challenging as well. She's unable to get anywhere around him as you have Gringo Loco now driving out his back windshield. He gets flipped around as we watch him coming out of turn 4. He gets stuck on top of Ragtag Jim's hood as he gets pushed down to the line as they come to a stop just before the line.
How about that action before going into the final lap?
Speaking of the final lap, this is it. You have Craigster Sr. in that 1st place position, followed by Raw Sun God. Then it's Mr. Dark and Gringo Loco. Then it's Ragtag Jim and Lily the dog. We are down to the final lap. Who's going to be moving on to round 2? Only one way to find out. Heading down the backstretch one final time, it's Craigster Sr. with Mr. Dark on his tail. Oh, Mr. Dark turns sideways. Craigster Sr. no longer has a push as here comes Raw Sun God challenging for the lead as he takes it through turn 3. Down the final stretch, it's going to be Raw Sun God running across the line at first, followed by Craigster Sr. and then Gringo Loco coming in 3rd with Lily the dog in 4th.
Whew, a last lap pass for the win. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Yeah!
An exciting way to end Heat Group 2 as we check in on Mr. Dark and Ragtag Jim on the straight just before turn 2. Watching the replay cam, you see Mr. Dark takes the S-turns too fast as his car rolls over. Watching one more time, you see him turning over, taking the speeds too hard. As he rolls down the stretch, here comes Ragtag Jim. He slams right into Mr. Dark as they slide down the line.
Now how about that pass for the win?
As we watch the cars enter into turn 2, Mr. Dark no longer giving Crixer Sr. a push. Here comes Raw Sun God challenging for the lead as they head down into the chicane. They are neck and neck just before heading into turn 3. Raw Sun God makes a move as Crixer Sr. tries to make a block, but here comes Raw Sun God able to make it around to turn 3 as he goes on for the win. And at the end of round 1, Heat Group 2, your 3 drivers moving on to the second round. It's going to be Gringo Loco in third with Crixer Sr. in second place. And your winner of this event moving on to the second round, it's Raw Sun God. 2 heat groups are in the books as we have our first 6 drivers moving on to the second round of the Cousin Ricky Presents the Bootlegger Run. And if your favorite driver did not make it into round 2, do not fret. We still have the elimination round at the end of round 1. We appreciate all of you being here a part of this event today. And as always, if you love the content you see here, please remember to like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell, comment, and don't forget to share as we bring you more exciting racing action here from the old Yakin Valley Speedway, home to the Winston-Salem Racing Series and the Funkhauser Diecast Racing League.
And before you go, don't forget to visit Merch by Meekin! Merch by Meekin is your headquarters for all your custom metal diecast signs and much more. Don't forget to check out their custom merch and personal gift ideas too. Merch by Meekin. Gotta love those signs.
And before you go home, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to give a big shout out and thank you to Elevation Diecast Racing for being the newest member of the Funkhauser Fan Club. As always, we love to show appreciation to our Funkhauser Fan Club members and your continuous support of our channel. It is you who help our channel grow. And if you're not a member of the Funkhauser Fan Club yet, please consider joining us as you get special badges, custom emojis for the race premiere, live chats, as well as member shoutouts and recognition for every race event, as well as much more content to come soon. Well, that's going to do it for us today, ladies and gentlemen, but be sure to check us out next time as we bring you Heat Groups 3 and 4. Take it away, Ricky.
It's a Cousin Ricky Presents the Bootlegger Run!